Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2361. I'm your host, Arwin. And before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can always use it. Right. Yeah, starting an hour late today. Very late. But yeah. Better late than never. Weather today is... yeah. It's cooled down a bit. Wind is completely still. Lots of clouds. Big gray soup, bigger clouds too. It was raining when I woke up. Like before, it just stopped raining, so looks like a bit of a dreary day today. Not a very typical Sunday. Usually the sun comes out for a little bit, but oh well. Right. It is Saturday. Oh wait, it is Sunday, the 7th of July. What? 27th of the July, 2025. Temperatures 21 degrees Celsius. It doesn't feel like that. With 59% humidity, 14 kilometers an hour wind. Not seeing that either. 65% humidity. Oh, and look, the weather is not continuous rain like it was yesterday. Now it's with a couple of days, Tuesday and Thursday, a bit of sun too. Keeps changing around. Like, yeah. Weather prediction system can't make up its mind. It's in a quantum flux about the future. Right. So, I hope everybody's doing okay. I feel a little bit off today. I don't know, it's just my guts are just like, weird. I ate a really good meal yesterday, and like, maybe it's because I ate really late. Like after 11. That might have something to do with why my guts are feeling a bit weird. Because the timing was all off. And I went to bed pretty late too. Not exceptionally, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel off. I actually was thinking of canceling the show today, but then I thought like, screw it. Do it anyway. Like, as long as I can actually hold my own, even when I feel a little bit wonky, then it can actually turn out to be a great show. And if it doesn't, then I'm just keeping the show short. So here I am. Thought yesterday's show was a blast. Really good one. Very amicable. Lots of chat activity, so yeah, really appreciated that. I mean, yesterday's show is basically what I wanted 2 days before that. But yeah, better late than never. I mean, I'm very happy that we did get to talk about it and I could get some feedback about the ideas that I brought on the table, because I just don't often get any feedback. I just have to settle with my own, like with my own observations and feedback internally. And that usually suffices, but I mean, I really thought that was a really interesting model. Right, subconscious and the conscious and their relation as viewed as an interpersonal relationship, parent-child, right? But internally, and like even thinking there is even way more of these types of relations that you can point to psychologically. But just like giving a conscious perception of like how the consciousness goes about and when it's doing something, that's especially when it's planned, and just kind of give you a look as to the processes that are probably happening that people really aren't used to actually thinking about. Especially when they're doing it, because when you do that, when you observe it, when you try to figure out exactly what is happening, what things in you are doing stuff while you're doing it, tends to disrupt it. And that used to also happen with me when I was much younger, especially in my teens. I had a lot of those moments where I'm like, whoa. When I first started to speak really fluid English in English class, like really trying, and then not understanding where it came from. Like, that was so good. Like, where did that come from? Like, I didn't like train to do that. It just happened. Like at my first real attempt. Because I never really had a real serious attempt before that. Like, we really focused on doing it. No, it's just like, I'm supposed to do it. I'm giving it my all, and like, whoa. And then I got all these compliments, but it's like, my consciousness is like, I didn't do that. Like, I don't really feel all that special for that just having happened, because I, which is really my consciousness, didn't really do that. It's just, I'm apparently invested in it, and it's my subconscious kind of doing it. And like, surprising everybody. But I mean, it doesn't feel like it's me. Like, there was real active effort that's preceded that. So, like, yeah. And some people might recognize that. Because there is a difference. A lot of talent comes out of the subconsciousness, not necessarily out of the conscious. It's just it's the baggage, it's the package you got available to you. Your skill range, skill potential. Right? Because this idea of like, oh, you do something, you learn it, and then you master it, and then it sinks into the subconscious and it starts doing it. That's a nice theory. That's a really generally okay model that actually helps you to get a bit of a grasp of how things work. Except it doesn't really work like that. Because I didn't, like, yeah, I mean, I didn't have the practice, yet it came out really well right away. So there was no physical training, like I'm speech training, like there was nothing that preceded that. It's just, I thought about it a lot, and I was like, oh, I really wish I could really do that right, and paying attention to speech, like how does that sound? Like, what is that thing he's doing when he says that? Paying attention, but not doing it. No, the doing it was all put together in a prefab package by the subconsciousness. It didn't first get physically trained and then it sank into the subconscious. That's just not what happened. And I bet a lot of people, now that I'm saying that, a lot of people, the people that might be watching, are probably going to recognize that. Like, yeah, I had that too. Like, yeah, it doesn't always just come down from the conscious actions and then becomes robotically skilled. No, sometimes you try something new and then you get a relatively good success, and you didn't train that before that. How does that happen? Yeah, suddenly you do something until it like robotically becomes automated by the subconscious, and then it'll just do that. Yeah, that's a nice model, except it doesn't fit everything. It's quite significant, really, if you're honest about it. And so I think that the compartmentalized approach of subconscious parent and conscious child, and that's actually how things are divided, and that we're always in the conscious seat. I think that's a way better approach as a model to it, to be able to explain how certain things happen with your actions. especially when you're doing it like the first time and all that, right? It's more honest. So yeah, I'm still, yeah, a little bit of afterthought about that. And I'm really impressed by myself, even though, I mean, I was paying attention with my consciousness, but it was thrown in there. It's just like, oh, pattern, this, that, this, and then it's like, oh, I get it, right? But I mean, I got the idea, but does that mean that I made that? Or was I just looking in the Akashic record and caught something? Right? And I think it's overall best for a person's ego too, like if you have any kind of talent, to not claim it for your ego, but rather see it as like, oh, I got this talent, then I have a responsibility to use it properly and maintain it, rather than I am the great this and that, right? Let your ego run wild with it. So it's just more responsibility for your subconscious, like, oh god, the kid thinks he's God now. Ugh, I have to accommodate for that. Right? Again, take responsibility. It always comes down to that, like the ultimate action to improve everything, the world, yourself, to take responsibility. When there's something to regard in which there's an action to take, think of what is and take responsibility. That's the best approach. Anyway, gives the ego the least amount of chance to just like start and I'm so good, well that means that I'm better than others, and that means I deserve more, and now it's dissatisfied because world doesn't accommodate, or exactly the opposite. Talented people are being equated, being downgraded by DEI, right? I mean, all of that comes forth from the ego. Unless it's just like, hey, this top function requires like very serious skills. It's a rare skill. You need real focused type of people that are really good at this thing. And then, yeah, you just can't take somebody that doesn't have that. So it would be completely irresponsible to hire somebody that wasn't accommodated for that. Right? That's just a pragmatic approach. You don't even have to say like, oh wait, it's designed to as a detriment for this group of people. Because they're per default always talented. I mean, yeah, let's talk about white people and their talent, okay? Yeah, I agree. But I mean, with the talent comes a lot of baggage too. Right? And because what whites typically inherently, when they're talented, then they're burdened by a similar amount of ego very quickly. And it's accompanied with restlessness and all kinds of stuff, and right? So white privilege, yeah, but I mean, with great privilege comes great responsibility and great burden to carry, right? Gotta keep that in mind too. Alright, anyway, just generalizing now at this point. It's with great power comes great responsibility, but with great talent comes a great burden too. Well, that coffee certainly feels nice. Yeah, it's definitely not that. Because sometimes when I drink too much coffee, I can get a little bit upset in the guts from it. So since I was feeling a little bit sickish today, I thought like, oh, you never really know like how the coffee's gonna hit then. But it feels like it's not clashing. So that's great. I do feel like smoking some. Right, anyway, hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Starting out a bit uneasy for me, but I mean I'm pretty focused, and I'm still riding the enthusiasm from having that show yesterday with so much interaction. I mean, to me, it feels like a real payoff when people actually get into the system of thinking that I created. When they actually do that. I mean, that's like, oh my god, it's not just all in my head. I'm not just some brain in a vat that's just not realizing its solipsism. It's like, whoa, actual interaction, like people actually heard me. They actually got it on a more fractal level. I need some I need recognition. Not recognition of, oh, Arwin, you're such a great guy, and oh, you're doing the right thing necessarily. But just like, hey, I understand you. I guess I have the need to be understood. That's the recognition that I really need. Because when I feel understood, I feel much safer. So many issues in the past when I was a really young kid, preteen and a teenager, just came out of people misunderstanding me. Like when I do my thing that they just did not interpret it right. That sometimes people would see like when I do my thing as if I'm disrespecting them. It's really weird to me. Like, what? Where are you even getting that? Like, But I had that would happen, and it was genuine. It's not just like because they had it in on me and like, oh, I need to bully. You know, they genuinely thought that the way that you did that thing, it just made me feel like you were trying to disrespect me. And like, what? And I'd be lucky enough that afterward, some of them would actually communicate that when that would happen. It would allow me to also become more self-conscious of my expressions and all that. Because, I mean, I have a very energetic, expressive nature. And that nature surpasses a lot of people's comfort zones. It seems. And those types of people that have that issue will have that issue with many people, but they will also have it with me, and it's very frustrating. But it's the way it is. I had to learn that. right? That sometimes people listen to the information you have, but a lot of the times people listen to the feeling you have about it instead. Why? Well, because it's a lot easier for people to figure out the feelings of another individual when they're communicating with you and keep track of that. It's easier than to actually get into some conjured mechanical thought that they're trying to present. It's very difficult for a lot of people to do that, but it's easier for them to read the feelings instead. So that when I'm then trying to explain something mechanically complicated, I focus more on the technical putting it together and then less on my actual emotional social expressions, because it requires my focus to keep it technical. Then people don't pay attention to it because suddenly my expression is almost like kind of wild and I become seemingly more irritated, even though it's not that, it's just I'm really focused. And then people misread it and they just start paying attention to the feelings, to which I don't pay attention because I'm all focused on being explicable in a technical way. And then the confusion is maximized. And like that used to happen quite a lot. And it's one of the few things I've really been capable of training here doing this show. Because in this case, it is practice makes perfect. It's like the full package is already handed down immediately by the subconscious. But then there's the refining stage, and that really does take practice. The talent, it just comes immediately, but that doesn't make it perfect. Now you gotta fine tune and balance it, and in order to get that part right and automate it, that eventually the subconscious knows how to balance it beforehand, that is something you actually physically have to train. And doing the early bird show for 2,361 times on a daily basis has given me a lot of practice to balance my social emotional expressions while I'm trying to explain technical things. I mean, that's literally like the full training that I've been doing. And it's working. It is working. I've become more balanced in my expressions compared to like earlier in the early bird show, in the earlier stages. And I've become a lot more aware, with more detail and more ability to explain those details in a way that is effective, while still maintaining my social emotional balance. And yeah, I mean, the biggest detriment now is that people just kind of listen and then just, whoa, they get hypnotized or something. That's a new phenomenon. This is not totally new, because that did also in occasion used to happen when I was younger. But that seems to be the more prevalent outcome now. People get hypnotized. I don't know. I hypnotize people into daydreaming, like I dream walk or something. Like I invite them into the dream world, but while they're awake. So maybe I induce daydreaming with people, and that is kind of that hypnotic effect. It's not something that I aimed for, or it's really just as a side effect per happenstance. I still need to like figure out how to deal with it, and can I do something, like can I actually accommodate for it? Can I give it a function? Like if people are gonna get hypnotized like this, what can I do with it that is positive? Right? Because who knows? Who knows? A lot of potential is stored in people's daydreaming state. When it comes to new ideas, seeing patterns, recognizing patterns in reality. Like I lend a lot of that from my dream walking state of mind. And so if I'm pulling people in there, then they will have some degree of availability of the similar skills, perhaps, if they have the talent for that, because not everybody does, or to the same degree. Everybody has a little bit, but not everybody has a lot. Right? If there would be other people out there that, like me, really use the dream state of mind in a waking way, then they could perhaps just by listening to my shows at a certain time of the day kickstart their dream walking. If they have trouble getting into it and they don't know why, and then I listen to this guy and then I'm like getting into it immediately. Right? So for people that would do, like me, do dream walking for their activity, whatever it is, creative or systemic, whatever they're doing, then listening to me can actually be like the thing that kickstarts it for them, because they don't know how to kickstart it themselves. It just has to somehow get there for them, right? So maybe in that sense I do have a function. I haven't really even figured it out what I do for some people. I don't know. Or maybe that's what it could develop into eventually. Anyways. But perhaps the best thing about having a show and being able to do this is it's more accommodating, because people aren't always like in the right state of mind to like listen to me. And if I'd be forced in their face like on a daily, let's just say they're working colleagues, and if I like always did this kind of talk, right, that might really get on people's nerves, because like they can't get away from it. But the thing is, now that I have a show, you can decide whether like, oh yeah, I'm in for this stuff now, or like, oh god, no, not this. And then guess what, you're not forced to watch me. You can just like not watch me. It's very easy. Just click, you don't watch it.
Talk like an idiot,
and then you're good.
But don't let that fool
and
you.
then
He really
I
is an
didn't
idiot.
accidentally wrong somebody because they can just
Gentlemen,
not watch.
Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot,
This is
but
not
don't let
just
that
like a
fool you.
message to
He
the
really
trolls,
is an
this is
idiot.
to everybody. Like all people that I've ever met that were super tolerant, I'd still have moments where I'm like irritating to them somehow, or just like burdensome. I just have that. It's like the hyperactivity thing. It's like higher consciousness demanding. That's what I am. It is what it is. And it's my choice too. But it can be burdensome for people. But if just doing it on a show, well then as a person you literally have the choice to just like, okay, I'm not continuing watching this. I don't want to feel that. This is annoying for me now, right? And that's like fine. That's the luxury of doing a show instead of like physically having to face me on a daily basis. It's a great advantage, right? Because in the past, when it would be like that and I had to do my communications face to face, and people would just like show that it's burdensome to them or like reject me, it would really hurt, because it's like everybody, like I can't even be myself, I can't even do my internal thing because it repulses people. Like, that's fucked up and very demoralizing. But on the internet, when you do your own show, it's like, no, it really is more free, but it's also more niche, and then aren't repulsed, they can just find you there. And then you'll have like a group of people that really do keep listening and like go with the feeling swings too. Right? Until they can't handle it, and then they just don't watch it. And then nobody got hurt. Nobody got pushed or brought discomfort. So yeah, it's a win. It's a win-win. Anyway, hope everybody's liking the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. Unfortunately, there are people though that when they hate something, they choose not to stop watching. And yeah, unfortunately, there's people that do that too. What a waste of their time and ours, right? Well, looks like for all the activity yesterday, today, everybody is having an off day. So while I'm like, I don't feel super good, but I'm gonna do the show. And then apparently everybody else feels the same way, and then they don't show up. It's typical. It's all good though. I'm taking it slow on the coffee. Right, but yeah, I'm very happy about my consciousness subconsciousness model. I mean, it's not just like, ooh, is it really like a parrot and a child? Rather than by just looking at it like that, it gives you a more compartmentalized dynamic overview of these processes. which might assist you to de-alienate it to you, right? By comparing it to human relations. It humanizes the perspective on it, right? Whether you agree it's literally parent-child relation. Like, there might be people that have had like terrible parents, and that they were really still talented and they survived through it, and they will like object to this comparison. Like, what do you mean your subconscious is your parent? They're like, oh my god, my subconscious was like my parents, like I'd be freaking insane. Like, yeah, but the idea of my model is based on a relatively ideal setup, right? Where you have a parent that really, like, obsessively makes a lot of effort to accommodate for their child's intelligence and talent and struggles. Like, I mean, you could say I'm modeling it after my friend from Nijmegen, who is like that, is like really obsessed with her child and basically worships her, and like I help assist her with that, because it's like a massive task, and like I want to help her out. It's very noble of her that she does that, and it comes with risks too. Like, my mother, in her own way, was like that too. Until she broke, right? Around my teens, and basically got, like, spiritually dislocated and then medically ruined and all that. But before that all happened, like, she was really obsessively dedicated too, like my friend in Nijmegen. And that's really the type of relationship that I'm basing this on. Like, not a terrible parent. I mean, if you have that, well then, yeah, you have like a very, I don't know, disruptive subconscious. The subconscious can become very disruptive if you let it, if you indulge. If you just let everything free flow, yeah, your subconscious can become quite demonic if it's not given any boundaries or any tasks on how to develop. If it's just driven by social power and all that, then yeah, it can become really demonic. And I mean, yeah, so in that sense, I mean, even the parent-child relation between the conscious and the subconscious, it fits even into the darkness as well. Right? Like, parents can be abusive, unfortunately, so can your subconscious be abusive. And then it's a mammoth task to like try to make that stop. To get through to somebody to the point where they can make their subconscious stop. Like, getting through to them is like insane. It's just as like trying to get through to a child that has abusive parents, to get through to the child, like, no, that's wrong, what they're doing is wrong, you should try to make them stop doing that. But the child is like, but it's my parents and I don't trust you, and right? Difficult. So yeah, that can exist too, right? But the idea of like how I'm analyzing it based on my internal activities that is based on a good parent, a really dedicated parent and child relationship. The relations between how that works. That's what it's based on. Right. So I think that's enough clarification about that subject for now. Okay, stream seems stable. OBS is not acting out. Almost a bit behind. I hope everybody's having a great day this Sunday. God be with you. Right, what am I gonna put in the title for this thing? Right, that seems like a good title. Oh, yeah. I have to actually spell it. Right, though. Right, details and intricacies of the conscious-subconscious relationship. No. That I have to figure out how to spell that word. Oh, I see. Does this work? Yes. Right. I did not know how to spell that at all. I thought it was intricacy, but it's of course, from intrigue. It's just didn't automatically roll in the mind. Just have to get etymological to figure out why. Right. So details and intricacies of the conscious-subconscious relationship. Right. Oh, I feel really snapped out of that unease I was in. I think the coffee really did it. Give it another smoke, and then I'm probably gonna round out the show. Right, I said it was not gonna be a long show. really big cloud flying over there. Look at this. Boom. Yeah. Camera does not have issues focusing on that. Because, I mean, that's one big fat cloud. Alright. So yeah, I think it's probably gonna rain at any moment again. That cloud, with a cloud like that hanging over, suddenly buckets can start to come down. Can you guys hear that flock of parrots that's flying around there? They're so noisy. Hilarious though. I mean, there's like in the center, there's like gigantic flocks of parrots. Basically all were originally escaped parrots because that was like all the rage in the Netherlands for a while to have like those types of green parrots. But a lot of them escaped apparently to the point where they started to form their own their own self-sustaining wild parrots. And there's like hundreds of them, if not thousands, hundreds. And sometimes like in the evening, like in a summer's day, like suddenly you just go through, like on my bike, go through a town and it's like tree after tree after tree after tree after tree after tree is just completely filled up with these parrots, and they're like it's like this cloud of sound coming from above. It's like really, like you have to then speak up to be even heard because it's so loud. It's pretty astonishing. But I mean, they sound very joyful though. But yeah, in big flocks they can get loud, very loud. Also something hilarious that I saw yesterday when I was waiting like for a bridge to close back down, like one of the bridges over the river here that I had to come across, and I noticed that a bird had literally built its nest on the bridge, and that thing would literally go up to 90 degrees and the nest would just be sitting there. But I mean, the bird had literally constructed it that, like, it did look like it had completely hatched eggs and all that. So it built the nest on the bridge, like on, like below this beam, and then it goes up and there's like this little vertical thing that just comes with it, and it just, the nest is sitting here and it would go all the way like that. But still, like, a bird actually hatched eggs there with it literally going to 90 degrees like almost every day, probably. Like, hilarious. Like, a bird actually managed to do that. Like, constructed the nest in a way that the eggs wouldn't fall out even though it goes turning 90 degrees every time. Like, that's just fascinating to me, that kind of thing. It's like homesteading in a room that just gets turned 90 degrees every now and then and then still managing, like yeah, anyhow, right, been going for over an hour. I think I'm gonna round out the show. It was nice to go through the subject again, but now on my own. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me a super chat over at the Rumble live chat. Subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. Can always use it. Right. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2362 on a Monday. Hope to see you all then. I don't know, if I'm gonna feel like today, then maybe I'll skip tomorrow's show. I don't know. But I'm gonna assume that I will not. Right. Yeah. Whether I'm gonna start on time or not is another matter. I don't know. Right. Oh, sun coming through. Woohoo. Right. So everybody have a great rest of this Sunday. God bless you and be with you. And until the next video, keep it flat.